The two-handed inside circle is a key technique. You can load and train rotation in a progressive way. The inside circle is foundational. Inside means the hand closest to the tip of the club will move towards the inside. This is different than an outside circle. Inside and outside circles are different. One is an ipsilateral load, one is a contralateral load, which means that the muscle pattern in your body changes slightly depending on which hand is high. It is less apparent with two hands on the club, but it becomes much more apparent in future training with one hand on the club. With two hands on the club, reach down, elbows lock at the bottom, pick up the club to our order position. The angle of this catch is incredibly important. Oftentimes, when people are new, they will hold this angle incorrect. You will notice the wrist cannot line up effectively. Drive that wrist down until this is at 90 degrees and squeeze this elbow tight to the body to engage the lats. Let's look down at our feet and make sure that our feet are pointed straight ahead. Oftentimes when athletes are new to this type of training, specifically wrestlers and jiu-jitsu players, they will turn out one foot because of the sport training that they have already done. With this exercise, focus on feet straight ahead because the feet straight ahead affects how the arch of the foot fires, affects how the ankle moves, affects how the knee moves, affects how the hip moves. Pointing your feet straight ahead with every one of these techniques in the standing series is key to your overall equal athletic development. We're going to rotate the hips 45 without moving the feet. The spine then rotates in relation to the hip. 45 degrees from the hip, 45 degrees from the spine should put us at about 90 degrees from chest to feet. There are 4 words in the coaching cues. It will be push, swing, pull, catch. With the push, push your arms out until both elbows lock. Without pausing, swing across. Arms will go parallel and parallel to the ground, then pull the elbows to the hips. Let's try it. Push, swing, pull, catch. Rotate back to center. Stand all the way up. Activate the quads. Activate the glutes. Tuck the tailbone underneath without moving the feet. Rotate the hips. Rotate the spine. Push, swing, pull, catch. Rotate back to center. Stand all the way up. The point of the catch and coming back to the center is to get better at standing up. Rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch. Rotate back to center. Stand all the way up. Squeeze the glutes. Set the club down with straight arms and then stand all the way up. We are going to demonstrate it quickly with the other side. Which direction you rotate is based on which hand is high. Pick up the club with the other hand high. Now inside is changed. Based on his top hand, inside will move towards the center of his body. Rotate the hips. Push, swing, pull, catch. Pull the elbows to the hips. Rotate back to center. Squeeze the elbow tight to the body to engage the lat. In the beginning, people will try to catch with their elbows sticking out. No elbows out. Rotate. Push, swing, pull, and catch. Rotate back to center. Straighten the legs. Squeeze the glutes. Draw the abdomen in. Rotate. Push, swing, pull, catch. Good. Come back to center. Stand all the way up. Straight arms. Set the club all the way down. The two-handed outside pendulum moves outside away from our center line based on the top hand. The hand closest to the tip of the club. Pick up the club. The order position is always at 90 degrees so that the knuckle bone is in line with the wrist, is in line with the elbow. If the wrist is too high, then you do not have good control of the club with the top part of your hand. Grip is key in all wrestling and jiu-jitsu based sports. Check that the feet are pointed straight ahead. If one foot is turned out, turn this foot out, then when you rotate, this ankle will collapse. It will affect the knee. It will affect the hip. There are sport-specific adaptations where you work on turnout. With this exercise, we are not doing it. Point that foot straight ahead for me so that this arch can be high and the ankles can move equally. Top hand is going to move away from his center line. Rotate the hips 45, rotate the spine 45 degrees to that. The coaching cues are the same as they are for circles. It will be push, swing, pull the elbows to the hip, and catch the weight, rotate back to center, stand all the way up. This is an outside clean. Rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch, come back to center. Notice when he starts his rotation, rotate. His weight is in the leg opposite of his high hand. At the bottom, the weight will shift to his same side leg. Rotate, push, same side load, catch, opposite hip load, come back to center, symmetrical load, stand all the way up. We are training our hips and our core in an outside clean. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch, come back to center, stand all the way up. Set the club all the way down. We're going to demonstrate just 3 reps with the other hand high. Outside is based on the top hand. Pick it all the way up. Rotate to the outside for this hand. Load the opposite leg from the hand closest to the top. Both knees are slightly bent. It is a clean, which means it is in the deadlift family of movements. At the bottom, both knees are bent, but because the hips are rotated, one knee is further forward than the other, but the heels stay flat on the ground. Push, heels flat on the ground, pull, catch, come back to center, squeeze the glutes, stand all the way up. If you look down and your feet have moved, correct them. Rotate to the outside, push, load, pull, come back to center, stand all the way up, 1 more rep, rotate, push, load, come back up, catch, come back to center, squeeze the glutes, stand all the way up, straight arms, set the weight down. The two-handed pullover is essential for any grappler. It helps you learn to resist extension. 2 hands on the club, pick the club up. Rotate to the side. This angle is key in every one of these exercises. It has to be 90 degrees in order for you to go up in weight. In the beginning, people will oftentimes have their wrist too high and the club will not be vertical. If the wrist is too high, you cannot effectively use the top part of your grip. By lowering the wrist down, you can squeeze the top of the grip. The important part of your grip is that it is closed like a fist. Do not let any thumbs stick out. Do not do anything weird with your hand. Do not put your thumb behind the club. Squeeze all the way around. We call this an OK grip, where you are holding your thumb over your finger. Bottom of your hand squeezes tight. You're going to alternate which type of grip you are using. The club will be slightly on one side of your head. Top hand tracks past the same side ear. The club will go past the side of your head. Go back. Thumbs come towards your shirt. Rib cage stays down. Abs stay on. Squeeze your glutes as hard as possible. Straighten your legs from the quad. Pull the elbow to the hip. Arm angle is at 90 degrees. Go straight back. Abs on the entire time. The heavier the club, the more important it is to maintain our core squeeze. Pull the elbow over. Rotate 90 degrees. Elbow goes straight back. Squeeze the elbow towards the head. Pull elbow to hip. In the beginning, people will try to track their elbow back behind their body. Don't let that happen. Drive the elbow forward and down so you can squeeze the lat. Elbow stops at the back line of your body. Arm goes back. Drive the core down. Squeeze the glutes as hard as you can. Pull the elbow forward. Stop it on the body. That puts the arm at a 90-degree angle. The thumb will be coming down to the back of the shirt. Different types of club swinging do this slightly differently. With this exercise, we're going to shoot for thumb to the back of the shirt. Elbow goes straight back, thumb tracks down towards the shirt as much as it can. There is going to be a small tricep extension from the thumb up, then elbow pulls all the way over. Over time, that starts to look more like one movement. When we change our high hand, we will change our ear. Hand is slightly off to one side of the face. Now that the other hand is high, he will go past the other ear. Straight back, drive the rib cage down, squeeze the glutes. The abs are on the entire time. Pull forward, elbow stops at hip. The 90-degree angle is absolutely everything. Point your feet straight ahead so that your ankle, your knee, and your hip can support your upper body. 2 arms straight, set the weight all the way down. The balanced squat is different than other types of squat you may do in the gym. It is different from a barbell squat. It is most similar to a kettlebell goblet squat. 2 elbows locked, pick the club up. Order position is the same as it is with every exercise, a 90-degree angle in the arm. The better your order position, the better everything can be. This elbow will track to the inside of the knee on the squat. Track down, elbow goes inside the knee. Think about driving the elbows out and leaning back and lifting the chest up. This arm should be parallel to the ground. Hand closest to the tip of the club should be parallel to the ground. As with every club exercise, in the beginning, people try to lift their arms up too high, and that compromises their wrist angle. Arm down. As you stand up, that arm will stay parallel to the ground. Drive up. Squeeze the elbow tight to the body. No gap between the elbow and the body on the top hand. Squat down. Lean back as far as you can. The heavier the club, the more you will be able to lean back away from the weights. This is different than a barbell squat. You will probably get much lower with this squat than you can with other types of squats. That is the point. Stand all the way up. At the top of the movement, squeeze your quad as hard as possible. Tuck your tailbone and squeeze your glutes to level your hip bowl. Pull your abs in and squeeze your lats as hard as you can. Track down, lean back, back, back. Eyes look straight ahead. We do not need to look up with this exercise or look down. Eyes track straight ahead. Stand all the way up. Squeeze the quad, squeeze the glute. Squeeze the abs, squeeze the lats. On this exercise, in the beginning, as people get lower, they may get some turnout in their feet, but over time, because a club is light relative to a barbell or even a kettlebell, we are going to work on feet straighter and straighter ahead so that we can work on the angle of our ankle and to keep our arch high. It is not the same as a barbell squat. We will focus on getting down and working on hip mobility with this exercise. Set the club all the way down, perfectly straight elbows, stand all the way up. The two-handed shield cast is one of the most important exercises that any grappler of any type can practice. It has been practiced for thousands of years by many, many cultures. The version of this exercise that we are going to practice is based on top hand moving past the opposite ear. Different people will coach this differently. For the sake of this program, top hand past opposite ear, because we are naming this after a shielding movement from sword fighting. Track down to the club, 2 elbows locked, pick up the weight using your hips. 90 degrees in the arm is key. The heavier the club, the more important that becomes. This exercise is normally started with around 15 pounds for men, depending on injury history, but we needed to get up to about 50 pounds and getting above that. The way that you do that is this elbow ankle. Squeeze the elbow tight to the body of the top hand. The other arm may float just a little bit. We coach this differently than some other schools. We are going to coach this by moving the opposite shoulder towards the club to rotate our hips in the beginning. That will move that opposite knee from the high hand a little bit, and we will start the movement. Ankle, knee, hip. Hand will track past the opposite ear, and it will have the same 4 coaching cues. It will have push, swing, pull, catch. Push the club past your ear, swing the weight, pull your elbow to your hip, and catch. Focus on standing up straight here and squeezing the glutes. Rotate the shoulder and the knee and the ankle towards that club to set up the rotation. This is not just a shoulder exercise. It is a core and a hip rotation exercise. Push, swing, pull, catch. Elbow always stops at the same point. Do not let the elbow track behind the body. If the club is heavy, get stronger. Bear down with your abs. It is a core exercise. It is a leg exercise. Rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch. Elbow stops in the same spot. Arm is at 90 degrees, so the top part of the hand can effectively work. Rotate, push, swing, pull, and catch. Pause. He's going to set the club all the way down. We're going to pick it up with the other hand. Pick it up with the other hand. Now, the shoulder that moves towards the club is different. Top hand, opposite shoulder. Hand closest to the tip of the club is the top. Rotate the shoulder. That rotates the spine, the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Push, swing, pull, catch. Pause. Rotate. Push, swing, pull, catch. Pause. When we look at it from the back, the thumb is tracking down to the back of the shirt. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch. You see the thumb track all the way down to the line of the shirt. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch. Pause. This exercise is incredibly important. You are never done with this exercise. If you are a grappler, this is foundational. Your basic minimum requirement is to get to the point where you can do this with at least 50 pounds. At least 50 pounds. You need to go through the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, and the 50. At least 8 weights in order to gain competency with this exercise. You are never done with this. You will do it forever. Setting up with this rotation from the moment you start learning it will ensure success. Same thing is true about the feet. Point the feet straight ahead because this rotation is going from the wrist, elbow, shoulder, down the spine through hip, knee, and ankle.